Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the latest installment of our Georgia on My Plate series in sponsorship with Kroger. My name is Ligaya Figueres. I'm the food and dining editor for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Throughout the year, we've been visiting growers and producers across the state to learn more about their farming operations and the food that ultimately lands on our plate. Today, we're in South Georgia at Corbett Brothers Farms. Established in 1987, this family farm is now run by brothers Justin and Jared Corbett. It's located in Lake Park, Georgia, near Valdosta, just a few miles from the Georgia-Florida state line. The Corbett brothers grow a variety of vegetables as well as satsumas, an emerging crop in Georgia's agricultural production. We're here to get an inside look at their citrus operation, which is one of the largest in the region. Justin and Jared have agreed to give us a tour, so let's go find them. Well, I caught up with Justin here. Justin, thanks for having us.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all for coming out.
Tell us a little bit about the history of your farm.
Well, our family has been farming in the South Georgia area for many generations here. But as far as the vegetable production, it all started with my grandfather and his brother back in the early 70s. They were the first ones to commercially produce bell pepper and eggplant in the area. And then 1987, my dad and mom, they started their farming operation. It started with 1 acre and a Bari tractor.
Wow, so how many acres are you up to now?
We're farming somewhere around 3,000 acres in the North Florida, South Georgia area here now.
And then you expanded into satsumas. Tell us about the history of that.
Satsumas all started up as a U-pick operation. My sister has a farmer's market, and she was doing field trips and having different groups come in, and it was up on one of our working farms. So we planted several different crops, on the farm for people to come in and see, and satsumas happened to be one of them that we planted.
And now you're home of the Besties.
Yeah, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Only the best here. We're packing Besties out here.
You got to show me some.
Yes, ma'am. Let's go take a look.
Justin, I have to admit that I'm a newbie when it comes to satsumas. Can you give me the basics about growing this crop?
Yes, ma'am. Well, satsumas are a type of citrus that is well adapted to our growing region here in South Georgia. We've got the right amount of sunshine and heat and humidity in the summer to grow the tree, and then we cool off and sweeten the fruit up in the fall where it's just a quality fruit.
So when you begin growing, what is the time frame between planting and being able to harvest that first crop?
It takes about 5 years from the time the tree started in a nursery to come out and grow in the grove and produce quality fruit.
Right, and I see some quality fruit here, although as I understand it, some of this would not be worthy of the Besties name.
Yes, ma'am. We take only the premium fruit off the tree that goes into our Bestie brand, and then everything else, it has its place. Everything on the tree gets used and goes to a variety of different customers, but only the best in the Bestie pack.
So I really want to see how harvesting works here. Can you show me some of that?
Well, yes, ma'am. Let's bring my brother Jared in and let him talk to you guys about the harvesting.
Jared, I'm really thrilled to be here during this peak harvest season. Is the harvest time exciting for you all?
It's an exciting time, and it's also one of the most stressful times to try to get all the fruit off when it's at its peak freshness.
So tell me about the harvesting process then. What goes into this?
Before we harvest, we come through and we will check the sugar content with a refractometer. We'll come through and squeeze the juice out of the fruit onto the meter, and we will check it to make sure the sugar content is high enough so it can be a premium product.
And then once you've decided, yes, this thing is ready to go, then you have a short window to
come through and get everything harvested. That's correct. We'll come through and we will clip every single piece with a pair of shears. So every single one is hand harvested. If you pulled on it, it would actually pull the whole peel and everything out of the fruit. Then it would be an unmarketable piece of fruit.
That's fairly labor intensive. I can't just shake
No,
it, huh?
That's right. Every single one has to be hand clipped with a pair of shears.
Can I try?
Yes, go ahead. You got it.
All right. So from here, where does it go?
From here, we'll load everything up, take it to our packing facility, then we will sort it out by size and determine if it's going to be a Besties brand or not.
I'd love to see how that happens.
Let's go check it out.
So Devin, I understand that all of the satsumas are processed here in this facility, but the ones that are going to bear the Besties brand label, those go through an additional level of scrutiny.
Yes, ma'am. The satsumas are brought out of cold storage and placed onto the bagger that you see behind me. where they go through one more final quality check before they get elevated onto our scale. Our scale then measures out the correct weight of fruit each bagger. The bagger bags the fruit and elevates it back onto a packaging table that gets put into the Besties box, palletized, taken back into cold storage where it's ready for shipping.
Justin, this truck is filled up with Besties. It's ready to roll. Where's it going to go to?
Yes, ma'am. It's loaded and ready to head out to the produce distribution centers. Going to get distributed to grocery stores across the southeast.
All right. Now, for those satsumas that don't make the Bestie brand cut, what happens to those?
They go to several other outlets. They'll hit wholesalers in different markets, and a lot of them actually wind up going to kids at schools. We'll take the Bestie truck here and deliver to schools across the southeast.
Well, that's a nutritious snack.
Yes, it is.
Now, I do have one more request.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I drive this truck?
Let's go.
Yes. Well, we are back from South Georgia. I hope you enjoyed our tour of Corbett Brothers Farms and learning about their satsuma production. While we all know how easy it is to snack on satsumas, you might be looking for some ideas to cook with this type of citrus fruit. And for that, we're going to turn once again to Chef John from Kroger. Chef John, it's so great to see you again.
Great to be here again.
So, you know, I could snack on this stuff all day, but I'd really like some ideas on cooking with citrus, using it as an ingredient.
There are a lot of things you can do with citrus. We're actually going to zest it. It's going to increase the flavor. We're going to segment it. We can use it for garnish, and then we're going to juice it. It can be savory or sweet dishes.
That sounds awesome. Now, what dish do you have in mind today?
Today what we're going to do is we're going to do a spring mix salad, and the satsuma is going to be the star of the show. We're going to have the segments, and we're going to use the zest as well as the juice to make a fantastic vinaigrette side dish or main entree.
Ooh, and that sounds super healthy too.
Very healthy. It's a heart-healthy meal. It's got avocado as well as red onion in it.
That sounds delicious.
Let's get cooking. This is going to be a great heart-healthy meal for the new year. Either you can eat the salad straight up or you can put a protein with it. It's fantastic. The star of the show, satsuma. I've washed it really well. We're going to use it 3 different ways. We're going to zest it, we're going to wedge it, and we're going to juice it. So the first thing we're going to do is use the zester. What you do is keep your fingers out of the way, give it a quick spin right here, right onto the zester, about a quarter turn every time. We're going to get about a tablespoon out of this, and then we're going to utilize the segments for a garnish. So the zest is to the side, about a tablespoon. Now I'm going to cut the top and the bottom off, and I'm going to peel it with the knife. Very simple and easy. And we're going to get segments out of that for the salad. Remember, I have my paper towel to the left. I'm just going to sweep my trash over here. Fingers out of the way. Going to go right around so that I can get those segments without the pith or the peel. I'm going to go all the way around, and this is going to act as a garnish and that blast of flavor when you're eating that salad. Now that it all peels off, right here, in between the two membranes, we're going to go down with our knife, one side, the other side, keeping your fingers out of the way, and the segments come right out. You say, well, what about all that other meat in there? We're going to juice that to finish the vinaigrette. So you see, we pulled out all those segments. We're going to simply take that meat, we're going to put it right into a squeezer, a juicer. We're going to give it a squeeze, and then we're going to give it a quarter turn, squeeze it again, and we're going to get everything out of that satsuma for the vinaigrette. We're ready to do our vinaigrette. It's very simple. We have our minced garlic. We're going to do a little bit of salt and pepper, which I have the mix here. That zest that we just did smells fantastic. Satsuma juice, and we're going to take it to the next level. We're going to put a little bit of lemon juice in there too, give it a little more citrus. And then we have a finely chopped shallot and our canola oil. We didn't use olive oil because canola oil is going to give it the flavor that we really need as far as letting the satsuma juice really shine. We're going to put a lid on it, and instead of mixing it up, we're just going to shake it up, and then we'll be ready to toss it with the salad. Simple and easy. We're getting ready to toss all the ingredients for this fantastic salad. I'm going to show you a quick and easy way to do an avocado dice. So we have our avocado. We're going to put our knife right in. There's a pit right in the center, so we're going to just spin around, turning our hand with the knife. Take the knife out, give it a quarter of a turn, comes right out. Simple way to get the pit out. We're just gonna hit it with our knife, give it a quarter turn, pit comes right out. See that? Pinch it, that way you're not pulling at the blade. Easy way to dice. We're gonna Bring the knife in right to the skin, through the flesh, vertically and horizontally, about a quarter to a half an inch, and use a large spoon to separate the flesh from the skin by going right in and giving it a twist right around. Perfect dice. Some recipes call for you to put the salad as the base and drizzle it on the top. We're gonna put it all in a large bowl. We're gonna toss it together to get it completely coated. All the heavy ingredients like the segments and the avocado, as well as the onion, are gonna go to the bottom. I'm gonna plate it, and then we can use the top as the garnish so you have everything in one plate. So in with the red onions, over the spring mix, we have the avocado dice, satsuma segments, the walnuts, and then the vinaigrette. Gonna give it a good toss. Get everything coated. You see all those heavy ingredients are falling right to the bottom. They're heavier than the lettuce, which inherently goes right to the top. Get our plate. As I said, we're gonna use this as a side dish. You could also use it as a base for the protein, a fish or a chicken. And then right onto the bowl. Make sure you're going right to the bottom to get some of the avocado and the satsuma. And it goes right to the top. And there's a simple side dish for a heart-healthy meal.
Chef John, this dish is both colorful and intensely fragrant.
It's the zest that we used as an ingredient. It takes the aroma to the next level, and the taste is going to be fantastic.
Well, thank you for another informative cooking session.
My pleasure.
And thank you for tuning into our latest Georgia on My Plate episode, sponsored by Kroger. For more stories and recipes from this special series, visit AJC.com.